Welcome to the video. The gang is all here. All here. Welcome. I was just telling Minka, she saw me coming back here. I hadn't been back here in the jewelry room. Used to call it the office, but tonight I decided to call it the jewelry room. She saw me and I said, come on, we're going to the jewelry room. Look, where good things happen. Where good things happen. She's playing behind she's back behind that curtain. Minka, what you doing? Minka. Minka, you doing, baby? She just wants me to walk over there so she can swat. So she can swat at me. So pretend that I'm gonna. So anyway, this is the jewelry right here that we're gonna do. And we've got this and we've got that. We got you. We fooled you. Right, Minka? She's growing and she's filled out. You going back up in there? You a funny little thing. All right, well, welcome. Well, I have the iPad up. We did a dumpster dive today. Check it out. Isn't that beautiful? And look at this one. Both signed by the same artist. I just love them. We got so lucky. The Jack in the Box lady wasn't there. She wasn't there today. It says, what is her name? Louise Adams. Very lightly written on both. Beautiful. I had to clean this one and I need to clean that some more. You know, those tiny little roaches. Yeah. I almost was going to give this away, but then I just decided to clean it. Because some of it I couldn't get off, but I didn't look at the front very well. But anyway, these were hanging in somebody's home for many years. And got a house wren and a cardinal. I saw that cardinal in there and just the beauty of the colors. I was like, I'm going to get my hoe and get it out. So I never get in the dumpster. Years ago I got in a couple times, but nothing. No, I mean, my hoe gets anything out that I want. That was back when I would get books and stuff out. Just a couple times, and that was like 6 years ago. So anyway, how's everybody doing? I'm not going to do jewelry tonight. We are going to have a little reading because it's already time to go to bed. Never mind, I'm not going to discuss it, but y'all know what I've been doing. Angelica and Buttercup. Our angel and our little fairy. First of all, we're September 15th. I know what day it is. For once, when you're working, you have to know those things. Keep up with it. 1979. September 15th of 79. Your spiritual workshop for September. Practicing self-control. Again and again, I've seen that the only real freedom a person ever has comes from developing inner self-control. And how do you develop this? It's obviously a lifetime project. But if you want to begin, here are some guidelines to follow. Take a moral inventory. Decide the areas in your life where you may need more self-control. Your job, for example, you might never steal merchandise, but do you steal time? Do you ever come in late, leave early, pad an expense account, or charge a private phone call to the company? What about your marriage? Are there areas in your life or even in your thoughts where you deceive your married partner? And your children, do you always tell them the truth? Do you set up standards for them that you refuse to meet yourself? Work from a spiritual base. That's the next step. The best base for spiritual growth is, of course, the Bible. What do the 10 Commandments say to you? Christ's Sermon on the Mount. It's vital that you know what you believe about God and how this belief relates to your life. Concentrate on thought control. Wrong action starts with the thought. Work at blocking those wrong thoughts before they become actions. Not that you can totally prevent a tempting or destructive thought from entering your mind, but you can refuse to dwell on the thought and thus keep it from enlarging. Self-denial is a must. Stop kidding yourself that you can develop self-control without giving up some of the things you like to do. Give up the movie, refuse the sweet, turn off the TV, shorten the telephone call, refrain from telling the story. Where will you start to say no to yourself? Don't consider it a decision against some form of fun, but a decision for some desired goal. You might even offer the sacrifice of an innocent pleasure as a prayer for another who needs God's help in some manner. I've noticed often that the more small pleasures a person gives up to concentrate on one important task, the stronger they become. Jesus Christ was the greatest example of one who depended on self-denial for strength to perform his ministry, and he put it in these words to his disciples: "If any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." Remember that the ultimate in self-control is not for you to become the master of your fate, but to be able to serve a higher master. Then we're going to read also from Hazel Josephine Barton, A Wise Choice of Winds. A Symphony for Pilate. When Pontius Pilate died, so goes the legend, the earth refused to accept his body. An earthquake violently cast the unfortunate man out of his grave. And when burial at sea was attempted, a huge tidal wave relentlessly returned him to the shore. It was then decided to move his remains far from the area where he had lived and ruled to a mountain in Switzerland. Pontius Pilate was entombed deep within the rocky slopes, and there he lies to this very day. Except for one time each year, when he escapes to roam the mountainside, and anyone who chances to meet up with that wandering specter will also meet up with death within the year. I don't really believe all that, do you? Nonetheless, when I explored a narrow mountain path on the summit of Mount Pilatus, many centuries after the deceased Judean governor was allegedly tossed out on his regal ear, I secretly hoped he would not choose that particular sunny July day for his annual haunting. The atmosphere was not conducive to the materialization of an apparition. There was a touch of haze, but blue lakes were visible in the distance. The red, white, and blue of Old Glory floated proudly beside the flag of Switzerland, honoring our bicentennial celebration, and the air was filled with beautiful music. The music was being composed by a herd of cows in a meadow far below, so far below that they appeared to be but little brown blobs. Each little brown blob wore its own bell, ranging in size from tinklers to bonbons, each with its distinctive tone and pitch. The random sounding of the bells as the animals grazed, amplified by rocky cliffs and mellowed by distance, wove an ever-changing melodic line worthy of mingling with the songs of angels. I don't suppose I'll ever get back to Mount Pilatus, but the music of its bells is forever mine, to be remembered at will. I sometimes fantasize that Pontius Pilate too has walked that narrow mountain path at his appointed time, perhaps like Lady Macbeth, right, wringing his hands in a futile attempt to rid them of their everlasting stains. And I wonder if that restless spirit is soothed by the eternal symphony drifting up from the pastoral valley below, or is he doomed to an eternity of hearing nothing but the raucous, demanding cries of a frenzied mob and the dismal sound of a massive cross being dragged slowly, painfully through the streets of Jerusalem? Well, boy, both of those, and I rarely comment, were heavy. I just opened them. That was kind of the order where we were at in the one book, and then the other one was just chosen by today's date. I hope everyone's doing well, managing, coping, staying as best as you can mentally and physically healthy. God bless.